Hello and welcome to our wild episode. It has been a while. Maintaining the podcast on the road has actually been a lot harder than I was expecting. I was like, it'll be so easy to do the podcast and have vacation and work along the way. Well, more for me, not easy. Especially when you are like, the days here are so incredible because they last for so long. The sun doesn't really set, so then you are chasing the midnight sun, and when the weather's been amazing, it's like, how much can I fit into the day? And I've never road tripped before, so I've basically been moving every day, which has been also tiring. When I've backpacked or done multi-day trips with a very specific purpose, your decisions are made for you every day and it's very obvious what you do. Whereas on this trip, my intention was to follow my wild, so to follow my feelings and what I wanted to do, and also to follow where the universe flowed me and would take me. And it's been really fun, but also tiring. So I'm looking forward to going home now, actually, which is interesting. So many things have happened while I've been here, and then also nothing has really changed, which is also kind of bizarre. But I just feel on a personal mindset, soul level, so many things have changed and transformed. I can't remember if I shared this in the last wild episode, but I've just been sharing with the individuals I've been meeting, whether it's reconnecting with old friends I've not seen in 10 years, and the last time we saw each other was in Canada, or whether it's been new friends. I have honestly not felt this level of myself, this level of clarity around who I am, and my capacity has never been like this. Like, it's just extraordinary to me, actually, that yes, I did recover from the chronic fatigue syndrome in 3 days. I went from barely being able to get out of bed to suddenly living my life. I've been reflecting, when you go from having your health taken from you in such a drastic way and then getting it back in this crazy way, you think that's normal because you've gone from barely being able to get out of bed to suddenly being able to do stuff. And yes, I did Ironmans as well and traveled around the world, but I just don't remember having this level of energy, lightness, or expansion is how it is feeling in the body. And it's just fascinating to me. It's like, what can I do next? But at the same time, I got the Norwegian visa situation is absolutely freaking me out, being completely honest. And my visa's up for renewal in February. I thought it would be very easy to renew, especially given the information I was initially given, but things have changed since then and over the summer, actually, and it could be a lot trickier, or not as easy. That's a nicer reframe, not as easy as I was expecting. So I'm launching a new campaign. I am crossing everything in my entire body that it's going to work, because I want to live here. I love it here. And because of this new capacity, it's like I can actually start Norwegian lessons. I can actually live a normal life now. Live a life that actually I really, really love. And yes, I have been doing that, but like after the PMDD, it's just been, or with the PMDD, it's just been crazy. I mean, the last 6 years have just been insane since COVID, really. And I think coming up to renew the visa, one of the realizations I've now had as well is just how, like, the trauma of the chronic fatigue syndrome, I can see how it's still impacting my life and the decisions I made. Do I wish I'd made better decisions? Yes, but here we are, can't change the past, can only live forward. But now it's caught up with me, which is making the Norwegian visa harder to renew. So that's also interesting. I really like working with my coach. Yes, we're launching a new campaign, but after that, I just want to get some more clarity around, maybe the new campaign will bring that clarity, actually. Now, because of this new capacity, or this new version of myself, I feel I have new goals and new dreams, but I'm also not sure what they are yet, which is also very interesting. All I do know is I would like to move again to somewhere with more of a social scene, because I've had so much fun meeting all these different people and having perspectives expanded, new adventures. Like, it's just been ecstatic. So I really want to include more of that. And I know where I'm currently living, it's not fulfilling the fun social aspect that I desire. So it's also looking at where can I move in order to get that? Where can I move in order to get the visa renewed? I think that will become clear now I'm setting this intention. I'm going to document the whole thing. So this is me giving you a sneak preview, if you like. I know more of what I would like in my life, and it's just figuring out how do we achieve that. But actually what's interesting, it all links back to the visa renewal and to the new campaign in order to make that a no-brainer. But yeah, having been through the chronic fatigue, the PMDD, especially the PMDD, that was just quite traumatic actually. There's more things I'd like to bring into my life with this new capacity and this newfound level of me, which is really cool and also scary / terrifying at the same time, because I really love it. Like this summer, I guess maybe fell in love with myself more, fell in love with Norway more. I opened my eyes to what life can be like when you surround yourself with awesome people, because the journey I've been on has been more of a solitary one. Especially, I guess, through the illnesses, but also then not having the capacity, which I've realized to, yeah, it's just been interesting. I feel I'm on repeat now. But yeah, so that's been my realization and how I've been staying wild, reflecting, thinking, understanding myself more. 2 questions I have encountered along the way. The first question is someone asked me, what is your definition of intuition? Which is such an interesting question. And it's one we talk a lot about on staying wild, and also what is following your wild, what does that mean? And they're quite interlinked. I usually in the podcast interviews and on the wild episodes, switching between intuition and following your wild, just so those who are new to listening, or even as we develop the podcast together, more and more I want to use following your wild. I'm going to define them together. This is my understanding, my perspective. You can let me know what you think in the comments below or slide into my DMs. On this trip, I have been following my wild, and the wildness within us is this inner pull. Maybe it's a gold thread or a tug or a feeling, and it doesn't always make sense. Maybe it can be quite illogical, but it's thinking it's allowing for goals, for dreams, for decisions to be made, and for aligned action to be taken towards these things that seemingly come out of nowhere. Or maybe they were sprinkled into our unconscious from an early age. And we now follow the fun, the excitement, the joy, the thing that lights us up, the fire in our belly, the fire in our womb, an inner knowing towards achieving that goal or that dream, or to make that decision. For example, on my road trip, I've been following a feeling of rightness in the body. We've spoken about this on Beck's House and how we all have different ways of making decisions. For me, if it's a yes, I feel very expansive in the body. I feel light. If it's a no, then I'm kind of feeling as if my body is scrunching up inside. It just feels icky. It feels dense or more solid or heavy. Not sure, more of a fizzy feeling, or like boiling water and it's just skin is crawling. So it's listening to these little signals. And if you're like, oh, I don't really get any of this, I encourage you to listen, because the body and your mind is sending you signals and feelings. But often because we're so busy or we're second guessing ourselves, we don't really tune in and listen. Tuning in is getting silent with ourselves. That could be going for a walk, but without any music. Or if you have music, it's designed, or your intention is to have the music encourage you to tune in. And you just sit with your thoughts, sit with your feelings, or walk with them, and just see what comes to the surface. When you have a dream or a goal, instead of dismissing it because it's too big, it will never happen, we think, is this a dream that I really want? Like, if I could achieve it, would I go for it? And then it's breaking it down. What's the next step to achieving that dream? Chunking it down, taking the small steps, or holding the big vision. I would say following your wild is following this knowing that doesn't necessarily make sense. One question I remember being asked years ago was, well, I followed my intuition and my company went bankrupt and I lost everything. So this is like shitty advice. And I completely understand that, because sometimes our intuition is leading us to learn a lesson, right? When we follow our wild, when we follow our known, when we follow this feeling of, I believe this is the best way for me to move forward, to enhance my life, it can take us down a road that we didn't know we didn't want to go down, or that led to an outcome we didn't actually want. And then it's 2 things. Maybe actually we didn't really listen to our wildness. We thought we were, but we weren't really. Or we listened to our wildness and it led us down a journey because there was a lesson we wanted or we had to learn. And often these lessons can get bigger and bigger until we learn them. I know that happened for me in relationships, for example. So that is following the wild, following that inner knowing, following these feelings. And when you hear me talk to my guests, they're all following their wild. They talk about it as if we're following fun, we're following joy, we're following this fire that lights us up. And then the doors start to open. I want to embrace that for myself more, like following this sense of, I think for me, I want more safety, more stability, more fun and joy. And I would like life to feel easeful and flowing and as if more doors are opening. So as I launch this new campaign, which I'm going to talk about next week, because that's literally going to become my life, and the series of the Wild episode, I'm hoping it's going to create incredible momentum and help me renew my visa. But I really am going to be listening to the wild and following it in a way I've not done before, I think. This summer has really birthed a new version of myself, which is cool. So tell me, how has your summer been? Do you guys also think about this kind of stuff? I guess because of my work and who I'm working with as well, I'm always reflecting and thinking about this kind of stuff. How do you follow your wild? Are there new ways you'd like to follow your wild as we move forward into the last few months of the year, which is crazy to think of, or 6 months to go? What would you like to achieve? How would you like to follow your wild to achieve that? Thank you for listening. Please rate, review, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff. If you have dilemmas or questions for me, please submit it through the form below, slide into my DMs. If you'd like to work with me on following your wild and creating a life that is more aligned with your soul, if you'd like to gain clarity around who you are, accelerate your career, achieve more balance, stop burning out, stop burnout, stop overwhelmed, just have new tools and strategies to live a life you love, then send me a DM, or again, the links to work with me are in the show notes. We have a free PDF on Escape the Burnout Protocol for power moves to help you do that. And we have my online program, a 35-day sprint career goal journey. And if you want to work with me VIP, hit me up. And if you're a leader with a team, you're gonna want to tune in next week, and please send me a DM. Let's get your team thriving. Thank you for joining me. Stay wild.